just understand who you are. It's incredible now how you can have an AI tell you that can almost know you better than yourself. But the best way I could describe it is it's literally just if your body had a voice and could tell you what it needs and who it is, here it is. You can scan yourself and it says, here's who I am, here's what I need to do. I need to go to sleep at these times. I need to fuel my body at these times. The whole concept of intermittent fasting is incredible and amazing for lots of people and not really great for lots of people.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Thrive State Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. V, triple board certified MD and performance and longevity expert. And on today's podcast, I give you a very special treat. It is actually a conversation I had with a beautiful human, beautiful soul, a legendary healer, my good friend, Matt Riemann. We actually had this conversation as a part of a series in the Thrive State Summit. If you missed the summit, it was an event where we put together 50 of the world's thought leaders in mental and emotional wellness, giving them the tools to actually handle their stresses in their relationships, in their finances, and in their health and their spirit. I wanted to share this conversation on this podcast because so many people just mentioned what a strong message Matt Riemann had to share. He reminds us that everybody with a soul, everybody that comes into this life has a purpose and then is gifted with a body to fulfill on that purpose. And so much of us are living life not authentic to who we are truly meant to be. And if we can remember that and do that and live as that person, our ability to heal ourselves is magical. Our ability to share our gifts with other people in the world and make the world really a more united place where people are collaborating in this organism that is humanity. This is such a special conversation. Now, before we get into the conversation, if you are new to the podcast, welcome in. This is a place where I bring in thought leaders from all around the world in relationships, longevity, biohacking, peak performance, human potential, to really give you the insights and some practical things that you can do to really elevate your life. So if this conversation is going to bring value to you, please do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. Please engage with the content by leaving some comments. This is really going to allow our show to grow. And if you're returning to the podcast, thank you so much for being a loyal listener. I hope you're sharing this podcast with your friends and family members. If it has been of value to you, go ahead and if you haven't already, please leave us a 5-star review wherever podcasts are heard. Now, before we get into the conversation, some people are asking if they have missed out on the summit, where can they get access? Well, you can actually get access to the summit as well as the online courses that we offer at mythrivestate.com. There you'll find how to access our community, how to access our digital library and academy, as well as the Thrive State Summit. So if you enjoy this conversation, you want to access the summit as well as all our resources, go to mythrivestate.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you are going to get so much value out of this conversation with myself and Matt Riemann. Hello and welcome back to another session of the Thrive State Summit. I'm really looking forward to this conversation to a good friend and brother I recently met. He is Matt Riemann, a visionary at the intersection of consciousness, human evolution, and transformational leadership. Matt's life is dedicated to a profound calling, encapsulating his vision and mission to guide humanity back to its inherent truth. We'll talk about that in a second. As a world-renowned expert, Matt consults with the likes of the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and multiple governments around the world on the convergence of precision health, future medicine, and AI in the ultimate trajectory of the human race. As the intersection of science, medicine, and technology, he is also the founder of shade.ai, a revolutionary digital platform that leverages artificial intelligence to deliver real-time precision health to your smartphone. And Shay is an official sponsor of the summit, and I highly recommend you go to the virtual exhibition booth because there is a fantastic gift that Matt is going to share with us over there. Their goal, eradicate the world of pain and chronic disease by the year 2050. Trained as a scientist, Matt was blessed with supernatural gifts and abilities, which he shared with me more than 25 years ago, and his fascinating journey has blended logic with the unseen, resulting in undeniable and life-changing results, even when science struggles to explain this unbelievable phenomenon. As a renowned speaker, author, educator, mentor, Matt has left indelible marks in transformational leadership, human evolution, and the future of human health. His work as a health futurist has led him to collaborate with esteemed organizations, prominent leaders, celebrities, and influencers worldwide. Matt Riemann, welcome to the Thrive State Summit.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having us here. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to be part of this conversation with everybody right now. So thank you.
I appreciate you. When I look through your work, the terms conscious evolution is a central theme. How would you define conscious evolution, and what role does it play in the pursuit of fulfillment, purpose, and our mental health?
That's a pretty big question to start with. Thanks, Kien.
I think we're diving right into it.
Let's drive straight in.
On the way.
So to answer that question, I'm just going to give a little bit of context for everybody dialing in right now. So first and foremost, we need to understand how consciousness works and what consciousness even is. And to understand that, we actually need to understand who we even are. And so I like to just propose this concept that we've been exploring for a number of decades now, which is around spiritual intelligence and consciousness and how that connects with our body and our biology and who we are. And call it the biology of spirituality. And most major religions in the world believe there's something called spirit, which is greater than us as a human being. And this usually happens whenever our body dies, the spirit continues on, depending on the belief system of the religion, goes on to heaven or hell or gets reincarnated or whatever the belief system might be. It doesn't matter, not trying to challenge anything there. But the fact is that there's something greater than this human body, this sack of skin that we live in, that actually is greater than us. And so that begs the question to say, well, if it can leave, if spirit leaves when we die and this body dies, it must come in when we're born. And so that's really interesting. Imagine that we're all as spirit floating around the cosmos right now. And I say, hey, Ken, what are you up to today? And you're like, oh, well, I'm actually heading down to Earth, going to go grab a body. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Me too. That's incredible. What are you up to? And you say, oh, I just got to head down there, Matt. I'll tell you when we get down there. So, okay, no worries, Matt. I'll grab you down there. And so we come down onto Earth, we're in this body that's here, and we have to figure out what's going on and the reason why we're actually here, this concept we call purpose. But the point is, there's actually a reason as spirit that we came down into this body here on Earth. This is the concept that most people talk around as purpose. So there's actually a reason or a purpose that we actually came down to this body. And isn't it interesting to say, well, Ken, if your purpose for being on the planet, for example, was to be a marathon runner, what body are you going to choose? I'm going to choose a body that's tall and thin and could run all day. If I came down to be a weightlifter, I'm going to pick a body that's very broad, very strong, huge muscle mass, huge bone mass to be able to lift very heavy things. So we actually choose our biology to deliver on our purpose. We actually have a biological capacity that has the ability to deliver on our purpose. And that's really interesting because that means if you have a body, you have a purpose. And so the reason why that's important to answer your question is our bodies are here to deliver on our purpose. We have this incredible thing called our mind, which is related to our consciousness, which interprets this spiritual intelligence to help us understand what our purpose is. And so when you ask about what's conscious evolution mean, and I refer to the mind as a Google Translate, this spiritual intelligence comes in, our mind tries to understand what that even means and can help our brain and our body go and execute on whatever our purpose might be. And so this concept of conscious evolution is really intriguing, actually, because evolution itself refers to an unguided natural process without intention or goals. That's evolution. So conscious evolution means that we're more aware that we can actually influence or guide our evolution with our intention, even sometimes regardless of the specific goal. And that's a really interesting concept to explore as we go this week.
This is a beautiful thing, and so many of our speakers actually touched on it. But, many people say that, mental health issues now have really arose from deviating from our authenticity. And maybe in the context of this conversation, deviating from what our spirit is here to do. So let me ask you, you're trained as a scientist. Where do you think this deviation is? What about our mind makes us forget who we are?
It's a great question. Well, I think our mind is always constantly trying to understand and reconnect back in with who we truly are. And that's something that as we grow and evolve, we've got an organ called our brain that doesn't have a lot of the comprehension or cognition that actually takes a number of years to form. I think everybody on this conversation by now is aware of the different programming that happens during those early stages and the different beliefs that we form along that way with our mind mechanics that's there. But I think to answer your question, the most important thing for everyone to understand is that we're all completely unique and completely different. And that really is the key to almost everything that we go through in any concept or conversation in life. And it means that our spirits are completely different to each other. Our minds are completely different to each other. Our bodies are completely different to each other. There's not a single person on the planet with the same body, not a single person on the planet with the same mind. There's not a single person on the planet who has the same spirit. So if you start at that point, the question really becomes, okay, who are you? Let me actually find out and understand who I am. And to understand that, I need to understand about my human mechanics. So the different realms of existence of me. My physical body is one realm. So how my organs function, the size of my liver and my stomach, my digestive enzymes, and all the things that we talk about right now in our physical health is just one layer of who I am. I also have emotions. I have this emotional layer that I need to understand. I have this mental layer, which is my mind and our consciousness I need to understand. I have this energetic layer that's now used to be a woo-woo topic, now very tangible, quantifiable, and measurable. I have energy, and now our entire body, as you know, works with nerves firing to execute our actions. And there's this spiritual concept. So there's at least these 5 different realms of my existence that I need to consider in navigating any of those conversations. And so this concept of alignment or malalignment, I actually see it's almost like an equalizer, different to, physical bodies doing really well or not so well, or my mind space is doing really well or not so well, or my emotions are in balance or out of balance. And there's all these different frequencies that are constantly trying to rebalance themselves to be in alignment. And I think that's, to touch on your point there, if we're aware of these sorts of layers, we can really figure it out. And if we're not, we kind of feel like we're sort of off track or off kilter, but there's lots to consider.
Yeah, so many people watching now might have that sense of just being off track, that maybe there might be some symptoms, anxiety, depression, worry, some feeling of potentially just not being free or content or being able to access those states of gratitude. What are some of those key insights and practices you recommend for individuals to navigate this path of conscious evolution? Are those merely symptoms and signs that your body is telling you that you might be off track of what spirit is trying to express?
So from a bigger perspective, the answer is always yes. If we assume that spiritual intelligence is our highest in a hierarchy, depending on what the belief system is, then there's always something greater. And almost every single person that's a leader or an influencer or somebody who's here to help us navigate the bigger journey will always come back to just having gratitude or surrendering to the mind to allow what is meant to be. No matter what's happening to you at this exact moment in time, there's always a bigger picture that you just may not understand at this point in time. So I think the guidance across almost every spiritual leader in the world is consistent on that there is something greater that we just don't understand with our consciousness yet, and that's okay. But I think to answer your question even more specifically, that concept, just to come back really to precision, like you're different to me, your body is different to me, but your mind is different to mine, and your spirit is different to mine. The most simple and easy thing when people are looking to navigate, like, what do I do? Where do I even start? Is first and foremost, just find out who you are. So find out who you are. It sounds really simple. It's really difficult. And if you ask yourself this, if you're listening, or go and ask your best friend or your husband or wife, who are you? But not just, I'm a label, like I'm an accountant or I'm a lawyer or whatever it might be. Like, who are you? Describe yourself at your core essence. It's a very, very difficult thing for almost everybody to do. And once you even understand who you are, then what is it that's right for you to do in terms of your physical body, in terms of your mind, in terms of your emotional intelligence, in terms of your spiritual intelligence, in terms of your energetic movement or lack of movement that happens through your body. So this is the first starting point that's there. And we often don't know this ourselves, as you're quite aware and understanding that my mission here is to help explore how we can actually understand first and foremost who we are, and then how technology or AI can actually even help us on that journey, which has been a really interesting exploration over the last couple of decades to see, is that even possible? Can we even quantify some of this spiritual intelligence? And the answer is yes, that we actually have, is again, the concept that spirit chooses this body. There's actually keys and clues in our biology that tells us and brings us back to understanding who we are spiritually. And not only does it help us understand what we're here to do spiritually, which is the concept of our purpose, also helps us understand things from food and activity and nutrition and these basic pillars of as physical health that we've explored in medicine and science for many, many years collectively, and incredible minds that are helping us understand that innate biology, but also helps us understand why we're here, like what we're built for, what our biology is capable of doing to deliver on our spiritual purpose. And it's so fascinating. And I know you mentioned before, Shay, go and check out Shay, guys, shade.ai. That's here to guide you over this journey over the next 5 days. it's incredible to see how you can actually just use your smartphone now to scan your body on the outside to understand about you on the inside. First and foremost, your identity, who you are, how you're made up, how your mind works, and understanding about your biological capacity, which is what we call your strength or your genius. It's what you do with your time when you're in a state of flow. And these are insights that we have available today in 2023. It's been part of my life's work, and it's incredible to help people actually come back in, again, first and foremost, understand who you are, and secondly, find out what's right for you and just do that. It cuts through all the confusion, from a physical layer. Do you do this diet, and paleo or juice fasting, or, all the stuff that's out there right now with the physical layer, but even our mind, what meditation do I do, or what style, or, people that feel like they're lost or stuck. The truth is that everybody's different and everybody needs something different for them. So just go find out what's right for you. You mentioned about people in anxiety or depression or stress that's happening. And one of the key things, if you're in anxiety, you're worried about the future. That's anxiety, defined essentially. If you're in anxiety, if you're in depression, you're stuck around in the past, things that have been happening to you and worried about what's going to be coming. And if you're in the moment, this is where stress can occur for some people. And the truth is that everybody's actually quite different. And some people are meant to be in the now and just be in the flow. Some people are actually built to be fast and drawing fast. And some people are built for the future and bringing the future to now. And that's just a natural part of who we are, just like we're all different shapes and sizes and all different mind types. These are just exactly why we're here, for a spiritual purpose. And we're here with 8 billion of us almost on the planet to do all this together. And so rather than try and worry about what somebody else did or what someone else might be promoting that's out there, just go find out who you are, just go do what's right for you, and just do you, just be you, and be that shining light that is the reason why you're on this planet.
I know we're going to reveal more details on shade.ai in the virtual exhibition booth, but this really comes from the concept of how once you have an understanding of the physical body, you can actually reverse engineer the epigenetic and genetic components that make up how we ended up how we are. And with that understanding, you could start to understand how people's digestion, metabolism, their mental health is, which is why this technology is so fascinating. Can you maybe just give us a little bit of hints and background, the science of anthropometry and how this science is really giving us clues to even genetic and epigenetic experiences that we have?
Absolutely. It's a fascinating topic. And for those who want to geek out on science for a few minutes here, it's a science that's not new. It's been around since the 1600s. In fact, back in Italy in the 1600s, they used to actually practice medicine with anthropometry, which is just the measurement of different ratios, body shape and size, essentially. But they would do that. It'd be like if we decided here collectively in the United States on Monday, hey guys, guess what? Medicine's out the window. This is back before they had their MRIs and blood tests and diagnosis in the labs like we do today. And say, hey, how are we trying to figure out what's actually going on with somebody's health here? And they started measuring people. They measured their heads and their necks and their distance between their nose and their lips and cheekbones and all these different ratios they had on the body. And guess what? They found out correlations, and very strong correlations. Different body shapes and sizes were predisposed to different disease states. And they went a lot deeper as the years went on to look at the different physiological functions that actually happen internally inside of ourselves. And you can actually have very, very strong correlations and predictions from somebody's body shape and size to a lot of these aspects. It's a well-accepted science. It's peer-reviewed. It's not our science. We can't claim any of that whatsoever. But we're really leveraging a lot of the ancient wisdom in today. And what we're able to do right now, as you know, with Shay, is we can use a smartphone to actually scan your body on the outside with the camera to be able to quantify that data, which is extremely powerful because not only does it understand your body shape and size, but we leverage about 17 different science layers that goes through that to make predictions, very, very strong predictions around even your hormones, like endocrinology, the hormones that are most active and dominant, neuroscience, so your brain regions that are most active and dominant. We understand about different vitamins and minerals, deficiencies, imbalances, just from a smartphone scan now. So this has been decades of work. It sounds very too good to be true and very Star Trek-y, but actually it's done with 15 to 20 years of solid research in clinics and labs across the board to get to that point today. But it means that we can actually understand a lot about what's happening internally. We're able to make predictions on people's genes, you're right, without even actually taking a genetic sample, and understand about the phenotype, which is the quantification of oneself. Your genes plus your environment, lifestyle equals who you are, which is your phenotype. And once we actually understand that base phenotype, we're really able to understand how the epigenetic variables, which are the things that influence how your genes express, that we're able to understand about the things that actually can change the balance inside your homeostasis. And that's things such as the food you put in your mouth, the exercise that you do or don't do, the sleep that you get, the way you perceive the well-being of your mind, the environment and the climate and how that changes to impact your internal health, the people you hang out with that cause you stress or not. So there's a lot of these different epigenetic variables that constantly are rebalancing and impacting us every day. It's how we respond to those as a unique individual that really matters. And so we've been able to do that with Shade, with technology, to actually quantify that into an AI to help you today. So please go check it out and try it. This is an incredible time, this summit, to experiment and explore what's there for you.
I have to say that I tried it myself too, and I was blown away by the results that I got. So much of health and the health type of recommendations we get are generalized to the population. And you might wonder, what, I'm really trying this one thing, but it just doesn't feel right.
I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. If you are, I just wanted to let you know, join our community. There's so many free resources and a great community of people that desire health, happiness, human potential, to have more in their life, more health, more energy. And when you have those two things together, you could create more happiness, more abundance, whether it be financial, romantic, all these things in your life. And if you're just starting out, you don't know where to go, just sign up for thrivestatestarter.com, because in there you're going to get a bundle of information that includes a longevity ebook, a longevity and performance resource guide, lecture notes that come from my keynotes at Google, at Fortune 500 companies, all the insights in that keynote in lecture slide form given to you. And then finally, breathwork. I share 3 powerful breathwork exercises to access calm, which really gives you clarity and peace during the day, to access energy if you need to wake up and really motivate yourself, and finally a breathwork routine that you could do every single morning so that you could be very intentional with how you create that day. You can find all this stuff delivered free to your inbox at thrivestatestarter.com. And our community is growing. If you want to be a part of a community of people that desire the Thrive State, that are really in Thrive State themselves, and help other people along with that, you could be a part of the community. You can get group coaching from me. We do breathwork sessions, meditation sessions, and you also get to drop in and participate in podcasts in the future. You could find more about the community at mythrivestate.com. That's mythrivestate.com. So check out those resources. You're not going to be disappointed, and please enjoy the remainder of this podcast.
And once you start to understand embryology and how we all develop, we all do respond differently. The same type of exercise isn't going to be as efficacious for certain body types and phenotypes. And I was blown away looking at the diet, the sleep recommendation, my chronobiology, and understanding my mental health and just how my brain works. So I don't necessarily have to stress myself out when I am not able to perform or do something that somebody else does better. When I follow the recommendations, I found myself just being able to just be more of myself authentically and naturally and just feel better and good. Do you find that that's something that, most people, once they recognize their phenotype and their health type with this AI app, that's the results that they're seeing as well?
It is. It just helps, first and foremost, again, just understand who you are. It's incredible now how you can have an AI tell you that can almost know you better than yourself. But the best way I could describe it is, it's literally just, if your body had a voice and could tell you what it needs and who it is, here it is. You can scan yourself and it says, here's who I am, here's what I need to do. I need to go to sleep at these times. I need to fuel my body at these times. The whole concept of intermittent fasting is incredible and amazing for lots of people, and not really great for lots of people. The paleo diet, the juice fasting, the keto, everything is good. Everybody's right. It just depends on who you are, and it depends on who you are at this point in time. What's good for you for a food or a diet or exercise regime or even mindfulness is good now, but you're a different person in a week or in a month or in a year or in 10 years from now. You need different things. You're even a different person when the weather changes. These are things that actually influence us, and we're able to quantify all this now and have that available. So it's you're right. It's very specific. It allows you to really understand yourself and then just know what's right for you. And my invitation for everybody is just go and try it. We've had incredible absolutely amazing things from all over the years that we've been doing this. So I always remember the concept around kale. One of the first people that we trialed this on back over 10 years ago in the US. And she lived in a place called Sun Valley in Idaho. And she had chronic rosacea, her skin was all red. She had chronic headaches, blood noses, aches and pains all over her body, had it forever, seen all the specialists and under the sun. And Shay told her two things. First, it said, stop eating kale. Second thing, it said, change the altitude you're living on. This is way before most people even heard of AI. And she was like, that sounds ridiculous. What are you even talking about? I grow my own organic kale in my backyard and I have that in my smoothies. And anyway, so long story, she went and changed it. Within 4 days, almost all of her symptoms had changed. And within 2 weeks, everything completely gone just by stopping eating kale and changing your attitude. These are the things that you just don't know that most specialists, I mean, you as an incredible qualified doctor, you just don't know. You don't know everything about neuroscience. You don't know everything about epigenetics. You don't know everything about endocrinology. You don't know everything about neuroscience. You don't know everything about cardiology. A human can't keep up with all this overwhelm of information. It's a beautiful time where we can leverage the power of technology to syndicate this information for a unique human being and really guide us and support us in that way. We just haven't seen that before. And that's really, really amazing.
It's a really beautiful time we're in. But, I wonder this, and I wonder how you're going to answer this question. There will be a very still small population of people potentially without access to technology. Say they don't have the cell phone, Matt, and, say Shay is not available to them. Prior to all this thing, developing, and I know you've spent decades of years working on this stuff, what would you say some practical things are? Say, a busy professional is here and they've got these symptoms that they're dealing with, some mental health issues, something's not right. Would you say through all your experience, there's maybe a few things that they could potentially do to just get some quick wins to center themselves and to begin the journey of remembering who they are?
Absolutely. And the ultimate vision here is that everybody can just have this information available for them. And even greater than that is we hope that at some point in everybody's human journey, they can actually have the alignment or the awareness spiritually or consciously themselves to be able to know this information, right? So this technology is just helping you if you feel a bit lost, if you're not sure. In fact, people who are very aligned and very in tune will see the information, go, wow, this is awesome. I'm already doing this, already doing this, already doing this, and feel amazing and feel connected and feel aligned. That's fantastic. It's just information. So if in the space where you're not sure, you're a bit lost, if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling stressed, if you have other mental health challenges or issues, or even physical challenges or issues, I'd always encourage you just to go back to the concepts and principles about, we are body, we are mind, we are spirit in the basic levels. And so just to take a few moments, and wherever you are right now, you can even just go through this if you don't mind, if you can, for a couple of minutes. So just stop where you are, just close your eyes for a minute and just take a breath. Just forget about the day, forget about all the conversation that's happening. Just take a breath. Life's happening all around us, but just right now, just be here, just be present with you. And while you're here, just allow yourself to focus on your breath. And while you're here, just ask for yourself, for your mind, just to connect with the natural resonant frequency of your body. And it doesn't even matter if you don't know what that means. Just know that every body has a natural frequency. Just allow yourself to try and find that, to try and connect with that, to try and feel that, know that, see that, hear that. It doesn't even matter if you can't even connect with that. Just to imagine, to invite, to observe that you have a natural frequency of your body. And once you've got that, we're just going to put that in a little bubble over on the left-hand side. Now I'm just going to ask you the same thing for your mind. So just to open your mind. If it's busy, ask it just to quieten down here. If it's empowered, ask it to assist you in really resonating at your natural frequency for your consciousness, for your mind. And just allow yourself to come into that frequency. Again, you might see it, you might hear it, you might observe it. You may have no awareness of this whatsoever, but you can just imagine it, invite it, or observe it. We're just going to put that in the bubble in the middle. So we've got your body and its frequency on the left in a bubble. We've got your mind and its frequency in the middle in a bubble. Now we're just going to ask the same thing for spirit. So I want you to ask your spirit or pray or invite God, the universe, your higher self, whatever your belief system is, to start to resonate at its natural frequency. And again, you might feel something, you might hear something, you might see something, you might not, but just ask and invite and observe that natural frequency to be present. We're going to put that in the third bubble on the right-hand side. I want you just to be aware of the fact you now have a natural resonant frequency for your body in a bubble on the left. You have a natural resonant frequency for your mind or your consciousness in the middle. And you have a natural resonant frequency for your spirit on the right-hand side. And right now, I'm just going to get you to observe those three bubbles. And in just a moment, we're going to combine and integrate all those three together. We're going to do that by bringing them into your actual body. So wherever you see those or visualize those or imagine those, we're now just going to bring all those three together towards us right now, just nice and slowly. In about the next 10 or 15 seconds, we're just going to have those integrate and absorb all together at the same time in our body. So just see those just gently coming towards you now, and just invite and be open for those natural resonant frequencies to be integrated and aligned as part of you. And so just start to see that coming now, and in about the next 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can see or imagine or feel those coming in to integrate into you. That's a really easy way. So right here, right now, just know that you have this integration happening, this connection happening. This is all that we're really trying to help with technology, is the bigger principles to understand there's this frequency that you are, this natural, healthy frequency, and going through some different visualizations and techniques like this can be really helpful for you just coming back to center from that. Takes you out of the day-to-day that you're in, brings you back into who you truly are. And that's just one way, Kien, that people can get started without a smartphone.
That feels, beautiful. I definitely feel very present when I do something like this. A lot of these speakers have already talked about how, this concept in many different ways, that how we are this natural, authentic frequency, but, in our human life and journey and form, we've also developed a nervous system that learns stuff from around the world and gets trauma and limiting beliefs and programs that overlay almost a mask or armor around the frequency that distorts us. And if we're not aware of that, which is where your phrase conscious evolution, comes in, not having awareness of this thing that's overlaying who we naturally are, we can potentially experience that as symptoms of not feeling like our best, not feeling like we are actually embodying who we are, which is, I think, a beautiful context that I think we can inject in the conversation we're having around mental health.
I agree. And again, though, I just want to really bring, and I love that there's a lot of people who are consciously sharing this out there with the world now, and it's really great. And so I just really invite people not to get too lost in the principles and the concepts of what everyone talks about, which is great. There's more awareness that we have these limiting beliefs. There's more awareness that stuff can shield us being our natural frequencies, which is all great and interesting to listen to on summits like this. But my wish for everybody is go and do something about it. Go and actually find out who you are, find out what your natural resonant frequency is, find out what stuff you have in your mind and the things that aren't serving that you want to change, and go and change them. There's tools, literally we have AI, like Shay actually supports everyone to transform all these things we're talking about. It's incredible what's out there. And we've spent, as you know, we've run transformational retreats for more than 15 years, going through, reprogramming people's beliefs, changing their physical health, helping people, transform from everything from cancers, MS, Parkinson's, muscular dystrophy, fibromyalgia, all the things that are, seen in medical terms, as we both know, incurable, irreversible. That's not true. There's actually things that can be done quite easily and simply to change. This happens in the space of 7 days on a retreat. It's amazing the things that are possible out there. And it's just really, really starts with find out who you are, find out exactly what you need, and just do you, just be you. And so my wish and invitation for everybody dialing in here is enjoy the conversations, enjoy all the speakers, enjoy the great wisdom that's here to be shared, but please go and take a step down that track, do something about it, because you can right now. It's this empowerment is here waiting for you.
As we're having this conversation here, I'm actually in Hawaii. And the last time I was here was probably about 10 years ago. And it was a time where I was really stressed out at work. And I had this vacation where I was just recording myself. And I just kept saying, hey, you know what? I just got to voo it. And I just kept saying, voo it, voo it, voo it. And I remember being in the jacuzzi the final day of that vacation. I'm like, how do I express people doing themselves? They don't have the same last name as me. And the term you it came to me, just you it. do you. And it's so funny, 10 years later, that this is the conversation that we're having here. Before I let you go, Matt, how do people find out more about you, the amazing work that you're doing? And then certainly they can find out about AI or Shay on shade.ai. But how do people just start, diving into more of your work and the different things that you're a part of?
Yeah, thanks, Ken. And I love just doing. I love Vuu it, and I love you it. I think that's awesome, and what an incredible way to be full circle in Hawaii right now. I would love to invite anyone who's listening. If you're not sure where to go, if you're not sure where to start, you can come and check out more of the work that I'm involved in at mattriemann.com, which is mattriemann.com, and you'll see the whole ecosystems of things that we're working on, this technology and the applications as you're aware, Kien, but we're bringing this intelligence. It's really this incredibly intelligent brain that's the world's most advanced brain that we're aware of that's out there, to apply that not just to health, for someone's personal health, for population health, but also for understanding about kids, understanding about how our kids are very, very unique. What does our 6-year-old need to eat to avoid things? How is their diagnosis of ADHD not actually real because of his understandings about how their brain works? How is their natural learning styles or methods or environments for them, and how does their behavior look with their imbalance and out of balance? We're doing this at home with parents in dynamics. We're doing this at schools with educators, with teachers. This is in primary, early learning centers, primary schools, secondary schools, tertiary educations. This intelligence, we're applying this to corporate wellness in workplaces, to gyms in health and fitness. We're doing this in terms of precision consciousness and mind understandings and programmings. We do very, very much miraculous healing experiences for people in the spiritual aspects and realms. So there's a whole host of really incredibly, extraordinarily interesting and intriguing things that we're doing right now. So if you're not sure about any of this, if you're new to the conversation, if you're just intrigued and curious, want to check it out, you can go to mattriemann.com and learn a lot more about that there, and explore more of the Shay universe of things that we're sort of using at the moment as tech for good to really empower people to understand who they are and what's right for them to be healthy and happy and be full of hope and joy in their journey ahead.
Yeah, as we close here, I want to remind people that if you haven't already, you have the opportunity to purchase a VIP pass. When you get the VIP pass, you're going to get all these recordings for a lifetime. You'll get the interview notes as well. Plus, not every single speaker, but some of our speakers are sharing some really great gifts for our VIP members. And when you join the VIP, you're actually supporting 4 mental health nonprofits, including the Trevor Project, Good Days, Genius Recovery, and the Rare Impact Fund. Now, this is something Matt is actually gifting everybody who's registered for the summit, this amazing technology, which is a 5-day challenge that will help you in your mental health. I want you to go to the virtual exhibit booth to find out more. But Matt, in a couple of minutes here, can you just give us a little taste as to what they can expect to get as a part of this experience?
Yeah, absolutely, Ken. And we're just really grateful about to share this with people. So the Shay app that's here, or the shade.ai intelligence, is yours to use. This is for the 5 days across this summit. So delve in. If you're a VIP, you actually get early access to this, I believe. So delve in there. You actually get a registration as part of the email sequence there with access code to log in, and just go in there. Everything's self-explanatory. Shay will guide you through. Shay talks to you just like you're having a conversation right here, right now. It's actually a really incredible experience, and we've got a really cool VIP aspect to this, where we were just demonstrating the power of AI, where you actually do a body scan of you. The AI will actually build a digital twin of you in the back end, so it builds a digital Kien that's here, and actually the Shay will talk to the digital twin and have a conversation in real time, just like as 2 humans talking, and then we'll come back and talk to you and say, hey, Kien, I just spoke to digital Kien in here, and here's what he said about you. Is this true? And as you've experienced, Kien, it's mind-blowing how intelligent and how accurate this is, down to very specifics about not just your health aspects and medical aspects, but also about how you think, act, and behave to really help guide you on your journey of consciousness and of intelligence and behavior and emotions and all these things too. So go in there, guys, just try it out. Again, it's something I wish everybody can just try and experience. It's 100% free as being part of this all included as part of the summit here. So check it out, try it out. It's amazing. There's an incredible community of doctors, health professionals, psychologists, dietitians, everyone under the sun that uses this with their patients, that's there to support you if you do have more significant challenges. So it's just a really great thing to get into, to try to understand, find out more of you. You'll be super surprised and blown away at the things that it'll tell you about how your mind works, the things, your natural talents that you're good at, the specific foods down to gene expression as to why you should be eating carrots or avoiding broccoli or whatever it might be for you specifically, and why. It's really, really amazing. So yeah, go check it out. And it's all step-by-step, self-explanatory as you go. But you download the Shay app and go and use your code to log into the Thrive State Summit.
That's amazing. Matt Riemann, thank you for your time, for your wisdom, for your energy and frequency. I personally got an opportunity to just recognize your superhuman ability to be able to see and heal. And I am completely, truly honored and grateful for your time and for your generosity. Thank you again for being a part of the Thrive State Summit, brother.
Thank you, Kien. I appreciate all you're doing for the world and everybody dialing in. I hope you've had a really great experience here, and looking forward to supporting your journey in whatever way we can. Thank you.
I hope you enjoy that episode of the Thrive State podcast. And if you're finding that this content is really helping you and your family members, please consider supporting our mission and our cause of elevating health, happiness, and human potential for people all over the world. You can do so by making sure that you subscribe to this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family members, and leaving us a 5-star review wherever podcasts are heard. All these things are going to really help elevate the show and to give us the resources to continue to bring more content just like this to yourself as well as the people that you love. If you haven't already, you might want to consider joining our community. We actually have a community where people get to engage with me in group sessions where we do breath work, meditation, where we do challenges together, really to be able to get us access to health, happiness, human potential, so that we can have longevity and performance in our life as well. You can check out our community at mythrivestate.com. That's mythrivestate.com. And if you haven't already, pick up a copy of my book, Thrive State. It really gives you all the tools, the pillars that you need to create a blueprint to control the energetics of your life. Who are you? How you show up in the world? The choices that you consistently make create an energy in your body, and you can control this. And when you can control that, you also control the messages you give to your DNA that gives you access, again, to optimal health, longevity, and peak performance. And let me also just share a free gift to you. If you haven't already, please pick up my longevity and performance bundle where I share lecture notes, ebooks, breathwork exercises, and longevity and performance resources at thrivestatestarter.com. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Thank you for helping us grow. Remember always, my friends, that you are your best medicine.